Pleasure to have this man back on the show. That is Brad One Punch Pickett coming off a great win against Francisco Rivera, UFC Fight Night London. Brad, first of all, you're back in the gym, but you're not training. What's been going on in London for you?
For me, I'm just kind of, well, I like to say chilling out for a bit, but I haven't. I've been quite busy straight from my fight night, and now I'm promoting my second fight show, Rise of Champions. A second one, we had one the end of last year in October, and now I got one this year. So basically, I'm just busy matchmaking for that, and that's a lot of hard work, It's not makes me have a lot of credit for people like Joe Silva and Sean Shelby, man. And they match, to be fair, it's easy for them because they have a product that's easy to sell. Where mine, I'm like trying to get people to buy my show, and it's a new show, so it's developing. It's very well run, very organized, But obviously, not a lot of people know about it. So that's the whole thing. Me trying to get matchups and all that sort of stuff. So
I was going to touch on that in a few minutes, but you brought it up now, so we'll chat about it now. Is it a good distraction almost to have that you've something else outside of the octagon to worry about and not worry about the training, and something you sort of gravitate yourself towards maybe for the future as well?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. I'm trying to be sensible where I do know I'm not going to be fighting for many years to come. So I'm planting seeds and doing things that I know that I could maybe do after my fight career. So obviously, naturals. I coach a lot now at the moment, but then also running my own fight show, and that sort of stuff. So it just comes natural. So it's just me trying to plant seeds for when I do finally hang up my gloves.
And you've the PR company as well, I believe, that you've set up, you're director of. Is that something that you're going to link together with the fighters, so you can maybe, you bring through these amateur fighters, and maybe if they're good enough talent, you can represent them in the future, maybe get into that side of the game as well?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's a very important side of the game that people don't really realise, that a lot of people just think fighting does all the talking, and it doesn't. You're a product. You need to be able to sell yourself, and you need to be able to conduct yourself inside and outside the cage very well, and know how to do interviews, how to handle media, stuff like that. That's what you need to be understand how to do. And for me, being in the game for a long time, I understood that early on in my career, where I knew I had to try and stand out. So I created my brand, my image, where I have my Trilby hat, my braces. I come out to Chaz and Dave from East London. So you need to have some sort of connect with the fans, So so I think that's very important. And so with my PR company, that's what we're doing, trying to educate young fighters into how to handle their social accounts, the social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, that sort of stuff,
Do you think that's more important now than ever in mixed martial arts? Because, a lot of people are still criticising the pay structure in the UFC especially, but we've certain guys, the UFC put more weight behind, they put more brass behind. Is that more important than ever for guys to really be able to learn the microphone skills and things like that?
Also, I think it's very important, not just doing that, just because I could explain to that as important just from how I'm doing it. As many fighters I'm looking at on Sherdog and stuff like that, man, I wouldn't mind to get these guys fighting on my card. I try and find them on social media. I can't find anything. Can't find a Facebook. Can't find. I'm like, well, how could I ever contact these guys to ask them to fight on my show if they don't have any way of me contacting them? So that's what I think. It's just in the end of the day, if you want to be a fighter and you want to go on, you need to be able to sell yourself. So if no one, it's almost to contact me. It's easy. Go to my Facebook, go to my Twitter, go to Instagram. You contact me. So I think a lot of people are missing business opportunities and fighting opportunities, I guess, by not having any social media.
And you touched on at the start there, right off the bat. How has it been, the experience? You looking at young guys coming up as well. What's the talent pool like coming through that you're going to have on your show at this fight night coming up? I think it's April 23rd.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys from my gym going to be there, because for me, being a matchmaker, it's quite easier to match up my guys because I'm their coach, and I'm going to say yes, so it makes it a bit easier. But I also have a lot of talented people from other gyms like London Shoe Fighters, Fight Star. We have a lot of good guys from the gym, Premier MMA. So I try and deal with gyms that have good talent, and we're trying I'm not one of those guys. I'm not in the promoting game to earn loads of money where I'm going to bring in some guy who sells 200 tickets, give him some tomato can to open up because he wants to look good in front of his fans. Like then that's not my goal in this. I want to have young, inspiring athletes want to go on and do this career and have good, well-matched competitive fights. Rather than just have one lopsided card where everyone comes out second, wins.
Yeah.
It's like you're the favourite, you're gonna win. It's like it shouldn't be like that. It's not like that at the highest level. It shouldn't be like that at the lowest level.
And how do you find, how's it been maybe getting sponsors on board and things like that? Has that been a real challenge? Because we see, local shows around Europe, that's one of the major problems they have is getting the sponsors on to help these shows go ahead.
Yeah, well, obviously sponsorships are very important. Luckily, on my behalf, it's not really my responsibility. I'm matchmaking, and to be honest, that's such a ball ache. So that's not really the financial side of things. That's my other coach Mickey. That's his sort of job. But yeah, obviously, it's hard last time to do it. This time might be a bit easier because at the end of the day, it's hard to sell a product you don't have. But now we have a product. Like we had our first show, very successful. It was great. Yeah, so like you have a brand to sell. So that for me, that works out a lot better. So once you have something to sell, it's easier.
Excellent. Definitely looking forward to that anyway. Brad, let's get back to you. You were very emotional after the last performance against Francisco Rivera in London. I spoke to you, I think it was after UFC last July. I think it was the Ultimate Fighter finale. I had a quick word with you. You were pretty downbeat. Obviously, you bounced back, got the win. You'd sort of touched on retirement. How are you feeling now that it's the dust has settled on that performance?
Yeah, I mean, I feel a lot better. Well, to be honest with you, it's like I actually thought, I don't know if I can swear on this, but I thought shit. To be honest, I thought terrible, but I won. And
that's what it was all about. Was trying to get the win that night.
And the fight before, I fought really well. I looked really good doing it, and then got beat. So I'd rather look good, and I'd rather look bad and win than look good and lose. So for me, yeah, I mean, like my last fight, I think going into that fight, I had a lot of pressures going on. I was very emotional because I had so much pressures going into that fight, and it didn't matter who was across the cage. It could have been number one in the world to the dustman. It didn't really matter. I had a lot of pressures going into me, and like I had a little stint down at flyweight. It didn't really work out for me down there, so I was coming off 2 losses, even though very competitive, close fights. And in my first fight back at bantamweight, like I say, I looked great. I felt great. Then got clipped. But putting that all into timescale with me having my son in between,
of course,
I was out. I hadn't won a fight in 2 years nearly. So like,
was it more of a psychological factor?
Yeah, 100%. It was like I'm a very mentally tough person when it comes to fighting, but I've found that extremely hard, to deal with. And you know what? And even my last fight, I performed rubbish, right? But I got the nod, and yet. It was a very good close fight. I could have even lost that, but I was lucky. I've been on the end of some really close fights and some also, I've won and ones that I've lost. I mean, lucky I was so happy I got the nod for this one. But like with that being said, I knew it was a very, very, very close fight. But I think if I fought him now, I even said to Sean Shelby, man, set me up a rematch. I'll do a fight again now. Now I have those pressures off me now. I think I'll perform a lot better. I had just so much pressures going me into that fight,
Yeah, you did. You fought really well against Mr. Almeida. You nearly finished Ricardo in the first round. I watched the fight back again today, last July. Obviously that was. But obviously you mentioned your son there, buddy. What's it been like? Is it different going into the fight camp? Does it maybe you have a family now? You have a son going into the fight camp.
Yeah, it's not about me anymore. And I mean,
Exactly.
That's also added pressure to myself in my fight, I mean, shit, I need to provide. And especially with my sport, you get paid an X amount and you get paid double if you win. So obviously, I want to earn more money, especially not being on a 3-fight losing streak. I'm like, if I lose again now, this could be the end of my job. So, like, then I may not even get another payday, if that makes sense. So I'm like, all this is going through my head. And even though the UFC did say, like, if I did lose, they would have kept me anyway. But I don't want to be kept on as like a trophy and merit, like some ornament, like I want to, like, know I deserve to be there. And it's not a case of competing at that level. I know I can compete at that level. it's not just competing at that level. It's being able to compete and win at that level is very important to me. You know, so like, I'm not in the sport just to make up the numbers. You know, so I do want to be something within the sport, and like psychologically to myself, I'm an alpha. You know, like that's how I portray myself, and I don't like losing at anything. You know, so like. When you haven't won a fight in 2 years, I'm like, holy shit, should I go play chess or something else? You want me doing? You know? That's like, so that's kind of thing. Me, you know. But now, I'll win my fight. I feel good in training. You know, I don't feel like I'm past it anymore. I mean, like I haven't been training much since my fight, but I've done a few bits here and there, and I feel. I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. It's like that weight's off my shoulder now. I can just train and not have that pressure.
Were they the doubts that were creeping into your mind that you hadn't won a fight? Is that why you'd sort of mentioned retirement? Because you said the body was feeling great and you were training well and everything.
If I put it to myself, like in training, I actually felt quite good in training, but I just when I came to fight, I didn't do too well. But like it was like even the lead up to my fight, the media. I mean, I know they don't mean it, but every interview I did, is this your last fight? Are you going to retire? Are you going to retire this? Is this it? You know, is this going to be last? And like everyone planting those seeds in my head, I'm like, well, maybe it is me. Maybe I should retire. Maybe, you know, kind of. Well, I don't want to retire. I love my job, and like I say, as long as I feel good and I compete at this level, I'm going to do it as long as I can. But you know, like everyone planting those seeds, saying maybe this is it, mate. Maybe you know,
you start
this is the last
about
one.
it.
Yeah. I think everyone was more fixated. Me, were more excited to me maybe retiring in front of my home crowd than the actual fight itself. You know, they thought, oh, this would be amazing. You know, you fighting in front of all the people and then retiring. You know, like what a swan song finish. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, it's great, but I don't want to fucking retire. Man. I love my job.
You're dead right, man. With the training now, with your son around, are you going to spend more time in the UK training? Are you going to still be over in ATT, or your family going to go over? What's the situation there?
No, I mean, I do what I did last time, where for this one, I thought it went really well. I was trained here like I always do, Team Titan, get myself ready, and then I go over to American Top Team, and I was out there for 6 weeks, 7 weeks before my fight, but 6 weeks camp there. I went out for like 2 weeks. My wife and my buddy came out for 2 weeks, then they went away, and I stayed there for 2 weeks. So I was out there so for me, that was a good little. And when they came over, I still trained every day, twice a day. You know, it's not as if they come over and I took a break. You know, they were just rather being at home, not doing much. They were America, not doing much. You know?
Let's look at you mentioned you'd still like to have the Henry Briones fight. Obviously, you pulled out of the last fight and you got Francisco Rivera instead. Is that the fight you're potentially looking at now down the line?
Well, it was already scheduled, so for me, that's just naturally that makes sense. I don't look at anyone and go, oh, I want to fight that guy. I mean, I'll fight anyone, you know, like, but for me, I was already matched up, and like, yeah, let's do it. But I don't know how serious his injury is, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, like, I don't know. So
what happens.
So, I mean, personally, I'll probably, because now I've got my fight show and all that stuff, I'll probably make myself looking timescale wise, looking to fight till maybe July, August sort of time, you know.
Brad Pickett, would you like to be on, you know, with that big card last summer, UFC 189? Obviously, you fought Almeida on. It was a fantastic week. Is that something you'd like to be on, another international fight week in July? It seems to be a perfect timescale from what you said. You think you mentioned Rotterdam first, but obviously with your show coming, that's probably going to be a little bit too soon.
Yeah, it is too soon, and that card's already all matched up as well. I'd like to fight on that. You know, for me, fighting's fine. I don't mind fighting. I actually quite like fighting in Europe. You know, so like, I mean, I don't know what. I may speak to you and see what European shows they have later on, if they have any around that sort of date, and try and jump on those ones. You know, for me, that's where I think my market is, and I actually feel I perform better over in Europe than I do out in America. You know?
Why is that, do you think? Is there any particular reason?
I haven't got a clue. I just haven't got a clue.
Just one of those things.
Yeah.
Brad, so the objective is, you know, just put all these rumours aside that, you know, people were throwing around at you about retiring. You're still going to be in the game. What's the main objective? Is it to get back in the mix and potentially make one more title run?
No, for me, I mean, I see it as a job now. It's my job. I love my job. I just want to keep doing it as long as I can. And if I start doing well and yeah, of course, I take opportunities as they come. But I'm not. That's not my focus, and I just want to. But part of me thinks like, after watching like Cinderella Man a few times, I don't know if you've seen that film.
Yeah, I have indeed. Russell
It's
Crowe.
a cracking film. So like, yeah, age is just a number. I could go out there. I still feel I could compete with anyone in the world at my weight class, and I believe I could finish any on my given night. I could finish anyone in the world at my weight class.
Just a couple more, Brad. Brad, where can people get tickets to your show as well? Ring of Champions 2.
Go
April 23rd.
on our. Well, I tell you what. Let me do this for you. You can go on our website, but there's the.
There we go.
Poster.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's a vet poster. You go to www.rockevents.co.uk.
And they pick up your tickets there. One last one for you. Big fight coming up in your division. TJ Dillashaw, not TJ Dillashaw, should I say Dominic Cruz and Uriah Faber. Who have you got? What way can you see that fight going down?
It's hard not to back Cruz, That's really hard not to back Cruz. He's already beat Faber before, yeah, but Faber's quality, but I just think it's really hard to beat. I don't think anyone could beat Cruz over 5 rounds.
Yeah.
To beat Cruz, you have to finish him. It's just point scoring ways and how the game's played. It's hard to outpoint Cruz. So you have to finish him. Don't get me wrong. And I don't think you'll finish him on his feet. I think the way Faber could finish Cruz if he gets him on the floor and gets good submission stuff. But Cruz is not easy to, 1, get down, and 2, to hold down. So that's what I say. Unless you finish Cruz, you're not going to beat him on a decision. So I can't see Faber finishing Cruz. So I think it'll be a decision by Cruz.
Yeah, can't wait for that one. And one last one for you. Are Tottenham Hotspur, your beloved Spurs, going to win the championship this year?
Of course we are, mate. Of course we are. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting a nosebleed, but I'm so high up. So up here. I think I'm even surprised more. Even Leicester's above us. I'm like, What is going on? The league's upside down. It's
been a crazy season. Brad, it's always a great pleasure to have you on the show. I really do appreciate the time. And guys, do get along to that show, Rise of Champions. Check it out on Brad's Twitter page, at one underscore punch on Twitter. You'll catch Brad there. Brad, always a pleasure, my friends. Do appreciate the time.
Thank you. Cheers, mate.